Hello and welcome back. This is another video of the COMSOL tutorial series for beginners. Now, in the last video, I explained the user interface and what are its various parts that we need in order to build a model and simulate it. So I divided the whole user interface into two parts, and one was the top part where we have all the tools, features and options available, and the second part where we can see our graphics of our model, and we have settings and all that, and model tree. Let's try divide into two parts. So we start with the topmost part, which was the toolbar, and I divided the toolbar into two sections, and one was the topmost strip at the top of the user interface, which was the quick access toolbar, and I explained all the features in the quick access toolbar. I showed how to add and remove any of the tool in that quick access toolbar. Now moving to the second part, which is the ribbon, the toolbar portion below the quick access toolbar, which is called the ribbon. So it has so many options, so many tools, which have options for all the tools of different levels, like whether you are a basic learner of the COMSOL, or intermediate learner, or the advanced user of the COMSOL. It has all the features. Since we are right now, this tutorial is about the COMSOL for beginners, for newcomers, so I will be only explaining the tools which are relevant to the beginners, which are relevant to build models that are basic, simple, in order to get familiar with the whole COMSOL user interface. So that is why the second part, called the ribbon, will be divided into more than one videos, and this is the sub part of this part second, and which has been titled here as file tab. So I will open the COMSOL and show what the ribbon is and what are the various tabs under it, and then we will start with the file tab. So if we want to go back and start with the fresh, this is what we had last time. We have two options, that is a model wizard and the blank model. We'll start with it directly with the blank model. So we left click it one times. So what it does is it directly opens the COMSOL user interface with the minimal information in the model builder. So I divided it into two parts. One was the part above this line and the part below this line. Now we have not touched the part below this line yet, and part above this line I divided into two sections. In the last video I explained this quick access toolbar and all the features in it, and right now we are in the remaining part of this, called the ribbon, and these are called the tabs of the ribbon. These are various tabs of the ribbon, and uh, we'll be learning various tools related to the beginner from this ribbon. Not all the tools, not the intermediate or advanced tools, just the basic tools. And we will start with first of the tab of the ribbon, which is the file tab. This is what this video is all about. So we have ribbon here. This part is called ribbon. We'll start with this. Now ribbon has a few tabs in it, and each tab opens different options, tools for us. Suppose if we left click the file, we have these options. Then if we click the home tab, we have these options here. And when we open the COMSOL multiphysics software, by default the home tab is selected, and we have these options ready to be used. Then if we want to use options related to material, related to definition, geometry, physics, mesh study, result is developer, we can use it. Yes. Right now definition is geometry, physics, mesh. These are not clickable because we have not selected any component, any physics yet. We have not chosen any mesh yet. Since there are result tab is by default, result node is by default in the model builder, so we see clickable result here and all these. So we'll explain this step by step. So starting with the file tab. So when I left click the file tab, the options open like this. A new window appears, and we have these option is over here. But if we click the home tab, nothing, no such window appears, because all the options under the home tab are shown at the top. Likewise for all other tabs, we have, if I click the material tab, the options are in the ribbon. If I click the study tab, it's all the options relevant to the study are here. Results, all the options relevant to the study will be, results will be here. Only the file tab opens like this. Now starting with file tab, the first option of the file tab, if we see here, is new. Now this is the feature that is already present in the quick access toolbar. The first option, the quick access toolbar, was new, and it is the same. Then after that we have run application. So what I said about this last time, I said that this test application option and this run application option, which is also present here, run application, these are related to model builder, this application builder. So we will explain it in a different video. We will leave this topic, this is totally irrelevant to the basic COMSOL tutorial. We will leave it, and there are few other options that are relevant to the application builder, and we will not be touching all those options. So moving to the next is open. So here what we do is we click it, it opens a file explorer. Here we can choose already model that is made by us, or already we have bought the COMSOL file from somewhere. It can take us there, and we can choose any of the option to open, and it will be opened in this user interface. Then most of these options I have explained in the quick access toolbar, because these are the options that we frequently need and we keep them in the quick access toolbar. Then we have recent. This is another option here. It shows all the recent projects of the COMSOL that we have worked in, and it will show us and suggest us whether we want to open any recent file that we want to change or make changes. Then we have application library. This is the first option in the file tab that we did not touch in the last video. Now, application library is COMSOL's built-in applications regarding different physics. So what it opens is, if we left click it, it opens us a gallery, a library of physics, where we have pre-built applications, inbuilt applications. COMSOL has built applications that I showed. The applications are built using this application builder. Now COMSOL has built many applications for us and put it in the options here, application library. We can use those applications to teach students, to get familiar with the concept, to teach ourselves. We have models available, the famous basic models. We can use practical models also. We can use, we do not have to suppose build them from the scratch. They are made in this library. We can open them. For example, if we go to COMSOL multiphysics, there are so many applications. They are categorized into various physics types. Suppose if we go to the general applications section, there are so many options. Suppose if we double click, if we left double click tuning fork, what it does is it opens this application, this already built-in application by COMSOL for us. So it will take a couple of seconds depending upon how complex the model is. So here we have a ready-made application. We have ready-made application of tuning fork. This is the application's user interface. Here we can choose different options. Say we are using desktop, we are using mobile phone, and all that. We have all the options related to this. So right now we will leave this. Right now we are in the ribbon totally changed here because we are in the model application builder interface. This is where we build applications. This is something, and this is the, suppose if it is a mobile application, our mobile phone will be something like this. It will, when we open this application on mobile phone, the application will interface will look something like this. Then we want to add input option, one input option here, another input option here, then we'll add display at the top, and we will put some initial input value, then second input value, then when we click a run, there we will get our graph or results here. This is the application that we can build. We can custom made application here, and we can put as many inputs that we want, as we can put output displays, progress bars, slide bars, and all that. Now if we want to go back from this application builder interface to the COMSOL interface, then we have model builder here. We click it and we are back to the COMSOL user interface. So this is, so first intro, small intro to this application builder is it is where we build application from our model. We can make this application, we can customize it however we want it. Let's forget about it right now. So this is an COMSOL built-in application that we can open, and we can teach our students what a tuning fork does, how it produces sound waves and all that. If we again click the application library, suppose I left double click it tuning fork and indirectly open the application. What if I left click it one time, say this, I left click it one time, it gives us this description of what this application is. A similar manner depending upon the type of physics we are teaching, whether fluid dynamics, whether heat transfer, whether diffusion, whether chemical engineering, whether acoustics, whether electromagnetics. In each COMSOL has made applications for us so that we can use them for teaching, for understanding the COMSOL multiphysics software. So application library. Now going back, then there is another option in the files tab is save, which we explained in the quick access toolbar. Then save as was there, save to was there. Then there is new option here, is called a revert to saved. Revert to saved means I opened a COMSOL file. I had already made a COMSOL file. It was saved in the Explorer. Then I opened it. I made some changes. And after making some changes, I found that no, I do not want those changes. I want to save it back as it was before making these changes. So what we will do is we will click this option like this. It will tell us revert to the last saved version of tuning fork. So last saved version, when we last time saved it, what changes we had made the last time, it will keep those changes, and what changes we made when we recently opened it, so it will not, it will exclude all those changes. So this is what revert to saved means, go back to the previous saved version. So if we made any change to the model builder, so it will not save those changes, it will take us back to the previous version. Then we have compact history. Now what does this compact history mean? Now if we see, COMSOL files are often larger in size. They are in gigabytes, they are larger files. Why? Because COMSOL by default, when we build a COMSOL model, it by default not only saves the physics, the interfaces, the boundary conditions, the results, but it also saves each and every step we followed in sequence. It saves all the history related to that file, each and every step that we later want to see, what sequence we followed, what steps we took in order to build our project. All that history is also saved. That is why the COMSOL files are also very large, because of this saved history. But if we want to reduce the COMSOL.mph file size, what we can do is we can delete all that historical data, all those steps that it saves for, the documentation that it saves for us, that steps we took. So if we click compact history here, it will delete all the history and it will reduce the file size if we do not want that history. But if we want to make that model, save it, and we may need it after a few months, after a year, after 2 years, at that time we would have forgotten many of the features, many of the steps that we took, maybe we forgot, and we want to see how we made this model step by step. All that history will be associated, but if we click compact history, it will delete all those steps. Then we have COMSOL multiphysics server. Now first option that's clickable in this is connector server. This is also another option that has a relation with build application builder. So I'm relating one feature to the application builder. I will track of it and I will explain everything in the later videos. So test application, then we have run application, which means do. Then I saw to then is next COMSOL multiphysics server. This is also something that is really relevant to the application builder. When we open this application builder, we make application, something like this tuning application. When we make this application, suppose I as a teacher build this application and I want it to share with the students, give them the homework. In this application, suppose I put 2 input boxes where one has to input one frequency, or one has to input, suppose, one value of the force that we apply on this tuning fork, one force. Then we click a run, it will give us the what frequency sound wave will be produced. Then I can put another value, then I can put another, then I can change material. I will keep all those options in my application, and I want to teach students, I want to share it with them, and I want them to change the material and change the force that we apply on it, and see how frequency of the sound wave is going to change. I can build an application for this and share with students. So how can I share with them? So there are two options. One option is I will save this file and I will give them in some, say, pen drive or something, but that's not the way I can share. So maybe uh, there are so many students in the class, and how can I share with them? Another way is I can save this application somewhere and share a link to all my students, suppose say on a WhatsApp group, and where they can click the link and this application will be available in their PCs. So for that, what I can do is, we have an option here. I go to file, I made this application, say, then I go to file, then I click COMSOL multiphysics server, connect to server. Then when I left click this, it will connect me to the server and open a new tab where I can name this application, and I can store this application, I can save this application at a location, and it will give me, it will have option which will tell me to save it, and it will generate a link. I can copy that link, I can put it in the WhatsApp group, and I can share it. Now everybody has the link to this application that I built, and I can tell them, now everybody, you can change the material now and give me the result, show me what the results you can get. Now the thing is, they will click the link and the application will be opened. Now if they have COMSOL software installed in their laptops, so when they click it, the application will be opened in their COMSOL software which they have installed in their PC. Maybe they do not have COMSOL installed in their software. Maybe they do not have COMSOL installed in their software. Can they still open this application? The answer is they can still open this application, but they need to what they need to do is they have to copy that link and they have to paste it in any web browser. They can click it and they will still open the application in the web browser. There another option is COMSOL has its own client called COMSOL multiphysics client. They can download the client, then they will have search option. They can open that link in the COMSOL client and the application will be available in their PCs without having COMSOL multiphysics software installed. So this is a great feature. I made an application. I save it to COMSOL server and save the link, share the link. It will be available to them, and they can use that application without having COMSOL installed. Then we have help option. Now this is the help regarding the COMSOL multiphysics. Here we have help. Here we have documentation, documentation related to the COMSOL multiphysics software. Whatever we want to learn, it's available in the documentation. There we have something called the application gallery. We open the application gallery. It is another help of learning COMSOL multiphysics. It will take us to the COMSOL's website, where it says application gallery. This is the application gallery. Previously what we opened was application library. That library includes inbuilt COMSOL application that we can use. We don't have to build them, they are built in there. We can just directly use them, we can upload them, share with the students and teach them about that, give them assignments. Here we have, it takes us to the COMSOL website, application gallery. Here we have search. We can search any discipline, we can search any problem like heat transfer or something like that. Suppose we can write heat transfer, we can write heat transfer here and we can filter it. So we have heat transfer, we have heat transfer applications here, built-in applications. Anything that we feel we are teaching relevant to any of these options, we can open them, we can teach using that application. And we can filter, we can use filter by discipline, whether we are teaching electrical, structural and acoustics, fluid and heat, chemical, multi-purpose and all that. We can filter by discipline, and we can also filter by product. We can filter by battery design module, chemical reaction, corrosion module. We are teaching electrochemistry, or we are learning electrochemistry, electrodeposition, fuel, electrolyzer and all that. This is the application gallery where we can learn software, teach this COMSOL software. This is something that is available to us from the software itself. So this is another help from the COMSOL multiphysics. Then we have support center, then trainings, and then this is check for product update. If any update is available for the software, update software application library. We have application library that we saw here. If we want, if they have added more applications to it, those applications we can update our application library by going to help, then update COMSOL application libraries. We can update it here. It will update our COMSOL application library if any new applications are uploaded there. Update COMSOL part library. Then COMSOL also has parts built in. If we when we want to make a model and simulate it in COMSOL, in order to make that, suppose we want to make a house in the COMSOL and we want to simulate the house for some heat transfer problem. So in order to make a house, it will be made of many parts. So there will be basic parts that will be included in the COMSOL part library. So there will be something like trusses and all that. Suppose if we are studying heat transfer in electronic circuits, in order to keep an electronic circuit cool, we associate a heat sink with it. So if we click the application library, when we reach there, I will show you how, when we want to build a model, we will be having an option called COMSOL part library. Suppose if you go to the geometry, this is where we build our model. So if we see here, we have part library. If we click this, it will open the part library, and we can, here it takes us to type of physics, suppose which physics we are working. So we are working heat transfer in cooling in electronic systems. We want to make the electronic systems cool, and we want to simulate that. Suppose we have options of heat sinks. Suppose in order to cool the electronic device, we associate heat sink with it. So here we have heat sink. So it is already built in. If I left double click it, what it does is Now we have see tuning force was already there. Suppose it was our one of our project and we wanted to associate heat sink with it. So I didn't have to make this heat sink. It was already made in the COMSOL by the company, and it was there, and we could bring this part here and we can integrate it with our project. So this is what it means. Then we have, after that we have another option. It says licensed and user products. Now it tells us what packages, what modules we have bought license of, and what we are using. All those are checked. Then we have preferences. These are the settings to this COMSOL multiphysics software. So we have settings related to application builder, related to computing, email, files, geometry, graphics. Well, we do not want to change any of these settings, but what we can do is at the last we have user interface, but we can change our user interface however we want it. First of all, if we click the user interface, we have language is English. COMSOL has built-in other languages that we can use COMSOL in. Suppose Chinese, simplified Chinese, traditional. We have English, of course, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Spanish. These are the languages that COMSOL multiphysics software is available in. So under this user interface, we have first option called color theme. Here we can change the theme of the COMSOL software. We have three options. One is desktop color theme, another is graphics color theme, and then is image import color theme. First of all, desktop color theme means changing the theme of this whole desktop, but except this graphics. For that, we have this graphics color theme option. Suppose default theme is this whitish. If we change it to dark and OK, so we have now COMSOL multiphysics available in dark theme, except this graphics user interface which is in white. If we want this dark as well, we go to file, we go to preferences, then we go to color theme, then graphics color theme is default. By default it's white. We can choose dark and we can click OK. Now we have pure dark theme here if we like this. Then we have another option here is, let's keep it default, keep it default. Then we have import export color theme. Import export color theme, what does it mean? It means suppose we made a model here. Suppose we made a model here, we have results, we use those results, we made a graph here, and now we want to export that graph and use it somewhere for teaching. We want to publish this graph, whatever. We have to export that graph, we have to save that graph. So when we click that graph, we will be having option to save that graph. Now for the graph, for the background of the graph, whether we want that background transparent, whether we want graph's background white, whether we want graph's background dark, we can choose that from here. Preferences, then theme, then image export color theme. So basic, then there is same as graphics color theme. By default it is white, it is saved as white background. If we want dark, it will be saved as dark background, light selection, RYB, whatever. So many options we can choose from. Then what we have in the files option is exit. Now exiting this will take us out of the COMSOL multiphysics software. It is same as clicking this cross, which closes the COMSOL multiphysics software. So this was all about the first subpart of the ribbon, that is the file tab, that we may need as a beginner. And then in the second video, in the next video, which is subpart 2, we will be touching the next tab, which is the home tab. So in the next class, we will be starting with the tools that are available under the home tab. Thank you.